Before I go to bed, I'm going to make some bread dough because I want to have fresh bread in the morning. So we're going to mix it together real quick. It's super easy. Just get yourself some bread flour, something with a nice high gluten content. You know, try to spill as much on the ground as you can. Sprinkle some yeast in there, really doesn't matter how much. Take a little bit of sugar, doesn't really matter how much. A little room temperature water. All right, we'll just let that sit till morning.
This one hickory tree, this one resource, helps form the roots of a culture centuries old.
You know, Native Americans obviously were very close with nature, and they saw a lot of things of nature as being a gift, as they were one with nature.
And with the prevalence of hickory, this gift kept on giving.
The tree, just on the outer appearance, had such great use for them.
There's the bark.
They would make a herbal tea from that bark that would help rheumatism and arthritis. So this tree was giving them this medicine.
And there is, of course, the hickory nut,
which was a great food and one of the few food sources that came in its own wrapper.
But Native Americans in Wisconsin didn't just use the outside of the tree.
The wood is very resilient. It torques and twists without splintering. So they'd be able to use it for handles and in weapons like bows and arrows and things like that.
Or tribes could burn the wood for fuel and heat. Or give it to the kids. So from this one tree came so many uses and at least one valuable lesson.
Well, they really were one with nature, and it's something that we're learning today, that maybe that natural and organic is better for us, and the Native Americans knew that, and they valued these resources. They didn't waste the resources.
In Berlin.
Today I'm going to show you how to make a really good tent with a tarp. This is a 16 by 20 foot tarp. It's better to use a square tarp with equal sides, but this will still work. First I'm going to stake down the corners on one of the longer sides. I'll stake the rest down later. Now I'll go over to the opposite side of the tarp and bring the two corners together. I'll bring them next to each other and I want them to be about 2 or 3 feet apart. Then I'll stake these two corners down. Now I need to cut myself a big stick, like this one. I'll take it inside the tent and this will be what props it up in the middle. I have a shirt on top of this stick so it doesn't rip the tarp. Next I want to bring these two grommets on the front side together. I'll take a length of bank line, pull it tight, and then stake it down. Then I tied the little flap down so it doesn't blow in the wind too much. I'll go inside and give you a tour. So I can stand up in here and everything. Nice, roomy tent.
If you're gonna know just one camping knot, this is the one to know. It's the taut line hitch. All you do is wrap it around this inner loop once, now wrap it again a second time, and your third wrap is above that knot on your main line and pull it through the loop. Tighten it up and that's it. This is a friction hitch, meaning you could slide it down and it loosens my tarp, or slide it up and it shortens that rope and tightens the tarp. The best part is wherever you slide it, that knot holds in place. So again, just twice through that inner loop there, and then one time around on the outside of the loop. And that's it. It's a simple and amazing knot.
This is the way that I am filtering the rainwater I've caught off this roof. And you can see it's a 2 filter system. I first use a netting or screen for this plastic bottle. Then it goes through this cotton bandana through this bottle. And this bottle filters water into this plastic container. Now, the reason I didn't put the straw all the way to the bottom is because any sediment that manages to make it through this cotton bandana will fall here, the heavier sediment, and this will just bring this water into this clear bottle. Then I will add bleach. Now most of my water that I catch is used for the garden, so I don't want bleach in it. And that's why I use a double filter system for potable water. One cotton bandana, netting, 2 plastic bottles, a straw, and there's silicone there to help seal it. The straw isn't all the way down, which allows sediment to reach the bottom, and you're actually taking off water, that is. And this water has been caught in buckets that runs off this roof. The passive water collection system.
Inside, what I did is I got some cardboard, and oh, this is only one layer. So I have one layer of cardboard box, and you can put as many of these as you can get. Scrounge around restaurants and stuff on Mondays and Tuesdays, and you'll be able to pick up boxes easily. The more of those, the better, because they're just pure insulation. On top of that, I put another emergency blanket. You used to be able to get them for $1 at the dollar store, but they're off the shelves. However, last night I looked on Mountain Equipment Co-op site, and they sell them for $1.70. So that's really not bad. These will be your savior, because if you can't get a big one, then 2 or 3 little ones tied up on top of your tent, and then one for under you for sure per person. And then having an extra one to toss over you is a good idea too. The other thing I did, and this I think might be redundant with the space blanket, but I think this is just duct insulation, and it's just like bubble wrap with this foil on top. And it was only about this wide, and I had some kicking around my house, and I taped 3 lengths together. I don't remember how much this was. I think I'm going to go check the hardware store later, and I'll post the price in the comments. But this is a cheap way to make a mat, and B, a heat reflectant mat. I mean, I have other camping gear, but I'm worried about bringing it for the sake of, if we get our things confiscated by the police. So, this I don't mind if it gets, even my foam mat. This was a cheap foam mat. Cheap foam mats are pretty cheap. So I have cardboard, space blanket, the duct insulation, my foam mat. That's what I slept on. I do not have a winter sleeping bag. But what I did do is I have this ancient 3-pound sleeping bag I paid $20 for 5 or 6 years ago at Walmart. And then inside I have my summer backpacking bag. I paid about $30, $40 for this. And I put one inside the other, and it did quite well. Even the zipper is broken on this, and you can probably find something like this at a thrift store pretty easily. Or maybe even catch a sale at the end of the thing. Or even if you just had 2 like this, put one inside the other, plunk plunk. The 2 layers will help. Most expensive winter bags are double layered, actually. I'm going to have to go quickly because I'm running out of memory card. The feature I do like about this bag is it has a draw cord, and you can get the mouth of it quite small, and it helps keep the heat in. So that's my sleeping bag. Other important things to have: a hat. It will save you, as you don't want to be sticking your head in the sleeping bag and breathing. That's going to cause humidity, and you'll freeze. A pair of little cheap cotton gloves. You can get 2 pairs for $1 at the dollar store. Dry socks. Now these are extremely important. You need to put on dry socks. You can't wear anything that you've been wearing during the day. You have to change completely when you go to bed, because you won't find that your clothing is humid, but it really is. A scarf to cover up the gap on your neck, and a warm pair of winter pajamas. And I brought a pillow, but for the protest I'm just going to bring a pillowcase and shove clothing in it. And I'll also I'm bringing an old down-filled ankle-length coat, and I'll be putting that under my sleeping bag, and that will add a little bit more warmth. And the other thing that's good is cram as many people into your tent as you can, and you keep each other warm. So thank you very much. I hope this was helpful.
Whether you're at home or out in the woods, a hot water bottle can go a long way to warming you up. Hot water bottles come in all shapes and sizes, and you can even buy them with a thing called a cozy. A cozy is just a fuzzy sleeve that keeps the hot water bottle from burning your skin and keeps the heat in longer. Hot water bottles are great for preheating your sleeping bag, keeping you warm throughout the night, or just having something to cuddle up with when you're sitting next to the fire. If you don't have a dedicated hot water bottle, you can fill up a Nalgene bottle with hot water and put it in your sleeping bag or under your coat. Just make sure to check it for leaks before putting it in your sleeping bag. If you wake up in the morning to frozen boots, 2 water bottles can work great for thawing your boots out. If you have big feet, you can use 2 Nalgene bottles full of hot water. If you have little feet, you can use 2 Gatorade bottles.
3 words: rock, fire, pit. Who's that? What's that, huh? All right. That might be one load right there. Yeah. Next comes the digging this circle, because this is on a hill. We're going to kind of build a flat circle on a, does that make, I'll just show you what we're doing. So we're going to do a circle, and we're moving some of this so this will be level, so the fire won't be tilted. So it's just a simple circle. This is what, maybe 3 feet in diameter here. Okay, one's in, that to go. That rose quartz is really nice. I feel better about that rock. You should be careful what kind of rocks you're using. There are some rocks that hold moisture, believe it or not, and when they heat up they can crack or spit, and that's kind of a bad thing. So I'll have a list of good and bad rock, okay? This is looking good. So my friend Alex, who's going to be blurred out in the video because he doesn't want to be on the internet, he is the genius that is making this. I'm just kind of standing here because my back already hurts, his will. But he built one of these at his house, and I was like, hey, could you build a fire pit at my house? And I bribed him with some beer that I haven't given him yet. So we can do a second layer if we want. I mean, it's really kind of what works for you, and it's about containing the fire. But I mean, if the fire gets out, it's going to hit wet grass, so I think we're okay there. But this has a really nice feel to it, kind of earth. Well, because it is the earth, right? Look at that. Solid.
Hey fam, so as you know, there's so much fruit out here nowadays that is seedless. Not discouraging you from getting the seedless fruit, because sometimes that's all that's around. But when you find fruit that has the seeds, figure out a way to get it and take the seeds and save them. I've been feeling a nudge or urge to do this for a while now. So whenever I find seeded grapes, seeded watermelon, seeded whatever, I'm learning how to preserve the seeds. It's important. Save your seeds, store them up, because I truly believe they'll be helpful for you in the future. Love y'all.
And finally, if you need to keep some food cold, just find a nice stream that's nice and chilly, a little bit of a slow moving area, or maybe an eddy. Put your bag in there, make sure it's sealed up tight. Put something on it that's going to hold it down, and you've got a nice natural cooler. We hope that you've learned something new today.
Step 1, collect leaves. Step 2, drill drainage holes in your trash can. Step 3, mulch your leaves with your lawnmower. Step 4, add your mulched leaves to the container. Step 5, water your leaves. All right, step 6, repeat steps 4 and 5 until filled. Step number 7, wait 8 months to a year to get this. Black gold, nothing but the finest free soil. Can't beat it. Plants love it.
When you get into the woods and you don't have stakes, you can find any good sticks that are still alive. You don't really want dead ones because they'll be too brittle to hold any actual force down. So you find you a regular stick, break it down, and then just sharpen it to a point with your knife.
Can I put a couple first, or actually put them in already?
We don't even have the tarp set up yet. I'm just trying to show my audience how to do this. Damn, it's gonna get dark quick. I feel like we just lost 5% sunlight in like 2 seconds. But that's all you have to do. Break it down, rinse and repeat. You'll have as many stakes as you need. Save the shavings from your tent stakes that you're making, and you can have a really good fire starter for kindling.
Number 9, first aid. So I highly recommend signing up for a wilderness first aid course. It's going to give you a really strong background and also recognize what you can do. There's plenty of situations that could come up where self-rescue can be possible with just a few simple items. So first up, I've got an ample amount of KT tape, some wilderness wash. Dressings, I've got a triangular bandage, a couple large occlusive Tegaderm, a few smaller band-aids of various sizes, some Leukotape, also some moleskin, small ace bandage, medical gauze, a pair of rubber gloves, CPR mask, some backup stormproof matches, Blistex. I've got an extra set of toe warmers, extra ski strap. I also have a few basic over-the-counter meds, ibuprofen and Tylenol, but a small basic first aid kit with a good skill set behind it can go a long way.